I'm mentioning this right at the start because people keep asking and I'll forget otherwise. At the end of season 20 of the whole save, which is still about a season and a half away, I am going to do a full look back on 20 years of this save, show you look through all the divisions, all the different countries and everything. I was going to do it now, but then I thought, why do it after 19 seasons when we can do it after 20? So that is coming, end of season 20. So end of next season, there'll be a full look at everything. So don't stop asking because I'll forget if you don't keep putting the pressure on. But yes, it's coming. Worry not. Hello and welcome to part 6 of the Bolton battle. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have a couple of Vanarama National League North games, mainly because that's the only competition we're left in now. We're playing against Halifax and Lowestoft. If we have a look to see how things have been going since you were last with me, which I believe was the Southport game back then, I guess you'd call that fairly mixed form. We've had a few wins, a couple of draws, quite a few draws recently actually. In fact, we've not won a game in 5 games now if you include the FA Trophy. But it's been okay. As of right now, 26 games played. We're in 8th place on 39 points. I mean, if the season ended now, that would probably go down as a decent enough season. 6 places ahead of where we were predicted to finish and where we finished last year. Progress towards the playoffs, but we're only 2 points outside of that playoff spot. And still only 6 points off top of the league. I think that's still probably far... I mean, it's just nonsense. Let's not even think about the top of the league. But it's still possible with what? How many teams are there? So we've got, 14 games left? Is that right? Can I add up? No, more than that. 18 games left. There'll be 44 games. Yeah? Are we all agreed on that? No, there won't. There'll be 42 games. We don't play ourselves. So there's 12 games left. Maths with Kev. 12 games left, 2 points. I mean, it's still possible we can have a late playoff push. It relies on the form that hopefully will start in today's episode because we're struggling a little bit for form. We have gone back to the old faithful, mainly because we lost the wing backs for a little while, had to drop back. We also lost midfield. No, we must have lost a centre back that forced us. Yeah, it was Kylan Kane got injured. Yes, there he is. So it's still injured now. So he's out for another few weeks. Didn't really have a fourth decent centre back at the club, so we've gone to just O'Brien and Fletcher at the back with Bannister and Johnson, who are both now fully fit and ready to go again as the fullbacks. Paul Johnson is assisting for fun. He's almost at Lazaroff levels of assists. 12 assists in 24 appearances in the league, which, you know, from right back, can't really complain. Tom Bannister now fit again on the other side. Doesn't weigh in with as many, and I don't really understand why. With Ipswich, with Man City, everywhere I've been before in FM16, it's always the right back who gets all the assists and not the left back. And I don't really understand why, because they play on exactly the same instruction. I can only think, perhaps with a box-to-box midfielder in front of the left back, the box-to-box midfielder is more likely to get into these positions, whereas the right back plays behind a playmaker who's more likely to sort of drift around and create space for the right back. Maybe thinking tactics, or it could even be something even simpler than that. I usually play with my target man, whether that's an out-and-out target man or a complete forward, on the left of the front two, so it's easier for the right back to cross into them. Who knows? I certainly don't. The rest of the team, we've got Hodgson, May and Lamb in the middle. That's pretty much our settled midfield three now. Adam May is just coming back from an injury, not really fully fit, but we don't have much in the way of other options in the centre of midfield. Andre Glover continues behind the front two because Frankie Penn is still injured. He's going to be out for another couple of weeks. And we're also without Chris Priest, who's been out for a little while. He's going to be back to fitness again, hopefully for the second of these 2 games. We have been playing Hipwell and Pro, but Hipwell has done okay, but I'm giving Pierce Millington a try up front today, purely because we're at that point of the season where we're starting to think ahead to next season's team. At least half the squad have rejected contracts for next season. Millington is one I haven't actually offered one to yet because I'm not sure if I want him because I don't know if he's any good. My reports tell me he's going to be very good. I don't know if I believe them or not. So we're giving him a game today, see if he can recapture some of this goal-scoring exploits from previous seasons. So it's a bit of a make-or-break game for Pierce Millington because he's probably not going to play the second of the 2 games because hopefully Priest will be back. So let's get into the game. We're at home against Halifax. We're actually favourites for the game, which is rather splendid. and I think Halifax are second, did I see? So it's a game that you wouldn't necessarily expect us to be favourites for. Yeah, Halifax are up in second, but I guess shows that we've been making quite good progress with a home team. It would be nice to be able to establish some form where we win most or all of our home games, and then we only really have to focus on not losing away from home, which would be a rather pleasant situation to be in. It's kind of been almost the reverse of that so far, though, and not even that consistent. We're kind of a bit all over the place. We tend to win when we feel like it and lose fairly randomly, but we need to turn around this run of poor form that we're in at the moment, because we had been in some really good form before then. We got up as high as second in the league again, before tumbling back down with his recent run of form. Well, that was an eventful first half, wasn't it? Adam May, not sure how much longer he's going to manage to stay on the pitch for. We'll perhaps give him another 15 minutes. Don't want to risk him getting more injured than he already is, because he is an important player for us. But I'd kind of hoped he would do something to help us win the game before we have to take him off, but maybe it's not to be. Probert with a good defensive header, getting that way. I still haven't set up any set-piece tactics, but good to see that Probert, being about 8 feet tall and a heading machine, does know to go back when we're defending a corner. What a clever chap. Nothing is happening, is it? This isn't part of the plan. They've already made a substitution. Did they get a player injured? Oh, fiddlesticks. There you go. That's only their second shot on target of the whole game. It's come from a set piece. Having just praised Probert for coming back and getting involved in the defending, that's him just there. So he could have been stood just there, heading the ball away. Alas, he was not, because I still haven't sorted out set piece tactics. So we're 1-0 down at home, and Adam May needs to come off. He's struggling. We haven't really got another option. We'll bring on Joel McDonald, who's a winger mainly, but in fact, do we go to a 4-4-2 now we've got him on? Perhaps give it 5 minutes and then switch, just to try something a little bit different as well. In fact, we'll do that now. So we'll stick Lamb out on the left, McDonald on the right. Glover can come back into the midfield, and he's capable of being box to box. Hodgson can go deep lying, playmaker. McDonald can be a winger on one side, Lamb can be a winger on the other, and just gives us something a little bit different. Let's exploit both the flanks, play a little bit wider than we were, and see what happens. Something a little bit different for the last 25 minutes. I'm not sure if you've seen me play just a boring old 4-4-2 yet, but we do experiment with it occasionally when the situation arises. And this seems to be one of those situations. Right, Fletcher with the interception. We need to... we've not had anything in the way of an attacking highlight for us yet, which is a bit of a worry, but I guess shows that two of our front three really are not available. Penn and Priest have been massively important. We've got close to 30 goals between the two of them, plenty more assists as well. And without them, we're just not the same attacking force. Hipwell's going to come on for Probert, just to try something a little bit different up front. He's got 14 goals pretty much from the bench now. So sooner or later, I need to give him a proper run in the team. Probably should have played him today with Priest injured, but, he's probably leaving. He's turned down a contract, so he's close to entering the realms of being dead to me. But Lamb cutting in from the left wing. There you go, switching to 4-4-2. Tactical genius again. Cross comes in from McDonald on the right. Hipwell with a lovely ball out to the right-hand side. McDonald on the volley, first time cross to Lamb. That the ball didn't touch the floor there from when Hipwell hooked it out onto the wing. We actually looked quite impressive there. It was all obviously a fluke, 2 miss hits, but who cares? It's 1-1. And what have we got on the bench that can help us win this game? The answer is pretty much nothing. I'm going to bring on Philip Price for Andre Glover and stick O'Brien up into midfield to be box to box, just to see if he, with his Football League quality, can just maybe create something a little bit different. I didn't realise he'd become captain when May came off. That is a bit nuts. He's a teenage loanee, but that kind of shows how young and inexperienced the whole squad is. Hipwell trying the same move again and raking ball out wide, but it doesn't come off this time. Johnson misses out, but hopefully we've managed to get in and cover it. We've got 15 seconds. I think we're just seeing the game out here. If we score at this point, we're absolutely mugging them. Millington shoots from about 400 miles away and it goes wide. Really, against the team second in the league, a draw's not a disaster. Obviously, a win would have been better. But hopefully we'll pick up the win in our next game. And I can't even remember who we're playing. But you'll find out when well, you won't find out when I do. You'll find out. Well, it depends. You'll find out in about 2 seconds in your world. But I'll forget it, Kev. Cut here. There you go. It was Lowestoft away. I'm sure we all probably guessed correctly. The only changes to the team that played against Halifax is, as expected, what's his name? Chris Priest. There you go. Chris. I knew he had a first name. Chris Priest comes back in up front for Pierce Millington. It was very disappointing. We have picked up another injury to Jay Beatson this time. He didn't play in the last game, but he's picked up a bit of a knock. And that's the only change. So should we get into this game as well? Yes, we know Priest. I can't learn the man's name. It's ridiculous. He's only the FA Cup's top goal scorer ever, and I can't remember his name. Brilliant. Right, let's get into the game. We need a win today. We've fallen down to 11th place in the league off the back of that draw. It's now 4 or 5 games, 5 league games, I think, since we've won a match. Might be time to tweak the system again if this goes on. Although Glover is in and has put us 1-0 up very early on. It's another one of those long pitches though, and it's blocking the goal off completely at that end. Yet not at that end. Well, that's weird. Is it long? Is one half bigger than the other? That can't be a thing that's allowed, surely. Hodgson played the ball through very nicely. Glover's in lots of space. Gets there moments before the goalkeeper. Puts us 1-0 up. Let's examine this pitch situation though. So how because that's wider, you idiot. That's how it covers it. Why can't I make that narrower? Because that's as narrow as it'll go. Brilliant. I'm still learning my way around the user interface of a game that I've been playing all my life, clearly. Right, May picks the ball up, out to Bannister. Can he get a cross in? He does. He finds Hipwell, and Hipwell, with a rare start, has got his 15th goal of the season. I forgot he was the other change. Yeah, we brought Hipwell in for Probert. Just again, freshening things up a little bit. And Hipwell, he's a bit of a goal machine. He probably that's terrible goalkeeping. Hipwell probably deserves to start more games than he does. And if only I had a way to change that, eh? Right. What's happening now? We've got how has our defender not won that ball? It's because we've not got a number 10 playing at the back anymore. I might have to fix that. Oh, that's just poor defending. But we do have a number 10 in there. Adam May gets in, tucked back in from midfield and gets the clearance away. Right. Oh, we're attacking again. This is good. I like it when we attack a lot. We've only had 2 shots from a 2-0 up. That's ridiculous. Hipwell's in again and forces a good save out of their goalkeeper. It's about time he made a save. And hopefully I won't live to regret that comment. Right, Johnson, last man back despite being our highest assist maker. There you go. See, this right, I'm writing this down. My pen. I'm writing down set piece tactics because we need some. So set piece tactics. Circled it as well. There we go. They might happen at some point now. Priest is in. Forces another save out their keeper. I am already regretting the previous comment. Hipwell with a chance now and they get it clear. We have been, for considering we've only had 4 shots on target, it feels like we've been all over Lowestoft in this first half and should probably be more than 2-0 up, but the stats don't suggest that because we've had 2 clear-cut chances and scored 2 goals. So it just shows we've been nice and efficient. Right, keep it going. Priest is probably only going to make it another 15-20 minutes because he's still recovering from the knock that kept him out for a little while, but we want to get him back in match fitness as soon as possible. So we'll play him until he drops down sort of below 70% probably, which is happening at any time now. He's coming off at the hour mark. Bless his cotton socks. Oh, they're going to score here, aren't they? I mean, that's a good save. And they're piling on the pressure a little bit now. I don't like this at all. We need to freshen up the attack a little bit. There you go. Priest has dropped below 70. So we're going to bring Millington on for another try. This might really be a last chance from this time because I haven't even got Probert on the bench today because I want to have a look at Millington, but he's still doing nothing. I don't understand why he's been the main striker at this club for the last 2 years when he just doesn't do anything for me. Right, Adam May needs to come off, so we're going to bring Price on for him and stick O'Brien up into that midfield slot. Splendid. And then we've got one more change in a minute. You know how this works. I mean, this has been a fairly tame match that, fingers crossed, we've not looked like losing at any point. So that's encouraging, I guess. Why have I set up my bench stupidly? I want to take Lamb off, but I've only got a left winger. And I did start training him to play we'll do that. We'll just stick Gary Baker. I don't think we've met Gary Baker yet. He's 24 years old. Oh, he's played one substitute appearance. I mean, he needs to be on his way out. I don't really get how much are we paying him? Oh, call that echoed in here. £850 a week for nothing. He needs to show me why he deserves to not just be mutually terminated, because that's crazy money for someone who's not getting any game time. Right, Hipwell has won a penalty. There we go. We could go 3-0 up here. Is Baker wandering over to take this? Was he the number 16? I'm not sure who was the last sub. It's probably Millington, actually, isn't it? There you go, Millington with a chance to finally score for us, and he does. That might be what he needs to actually turn into a proper poacher, proper goal scorer again, like he has been before I arrived at the club. I mean, it's a decent enough penalty, just straight down the middle. Easy peasy. He looks rather pleased with himself. It's his first goal of the season. It's nearly February. Needs to tone it down a little bit. Millington's in again. Look, here he goes. Oh, see, if he'd have scored there, he'd have been my new hero, and he'd have got 30 goals over the course of the rest of the season, and fired us to promotion. Oh, see, what's just happened there? I can't see because the league table's blocking the back of the net. I don't believe that was even a goal. So their player just, I mean, he side-footed that on the volley from miles out. There was no backlift. That is a side foot from 35 yards. Some of these non-league players are superheroes. And it looks like, I mean, there's no time for them to get back into this. Now, I don't know why I've started whispering. Am I afraid they're going to hear? Right, Baker, and there we go. 3-1. We're back up to 6th place. We'll have a proper look at that league table in a second. So, back up to 6th place. Only 2 points off 2nd place, actually. So, still in a nice position. 10 games to go. We're going for the playoffs now. There you go. I've called it. We want a playoff finish. If you've enjoyed today's game? Well, I suppose there was a game involved. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there. It would be awesome to get it to 100 likes. I keep saying it, and it keeps happening at the moment. So please, 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 100 likes. Absolutely awesome for getting a new series off the ground. If you want to see more, stick a subscription on there. And thank you very much for watching.